Someone watched you lose everything. Not from a distance, from close enough to hear it happening, close enough to see the exact moment your face changed, close enough to watch the light in your eyes dim in real time and do nothing about it. They were there when the relationship ended and you pretended it didn't destroy you. They were there when the money ran out and you started doing math at the grocery store with shaking hands. They were there when your health declined and you kept showing up anyway because stopping wasn't an option you could afford. They were there when people you trusted turned on you and the betrayal landed so deep you couldn't even cry about it. You just went numb. They watched all of it. And at the time, they did nothing. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe they weren't ready. Maybe God hadn't assigned them their role yet. But something has shifted because that same person, the one who witnessed your darkest season, has now been positioned by something divine to be the instrument of your restoration. And they don't fully understand why they feel so compelled to pour into you. They just know they can't stop. Okay, so I literally had to stop what I was doing to record this because the energy on this one is not playing around. I'm Stella Love Tarot with Stella. Subscribe if you're new because we stay busy around here. Real quick, only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know how we do. Now let me get into this because, oh my gosh, I have been waiting to tell somebody this all day. Let me talk about what you lost because I need to name it specifically so you know this reading is for you. You didn't lose one thing. You lost a sequence of things in a compressed period of time that would have been manageable individually, but collectively felt like God had turned away from you entirely. A relationship, someone you thought was permanent, someone you built around, someone whose absence restructured your entire daily life. Money, not just tight, but the kind of gone where you sit in your car after work and calculate whether you can afford both gas and dinner, or if you have to choose health. Your body started keeping score of every stress you refused to process emotionally, and it presented the bill all at once. Sleep disappeared. Your appetite went strange, either nothing or everything, neither one by choice. Something in your face changed. People who hadn't seen you in a while looked at you with that specific expression, the one that says, I can see it on you, but I'm not going to mention it. And you hated that expression more than anything because confirmed what you were trying to hide, that you were drowning quietly, methodically, with a smile on your face and your bills mostly paid and your texts answered within a reasonable time. You drowned in a way that didn't look like drowning, and that's the most dangerous kind because nobody throws a rope to someone who appears to be swimming. And let me go deeper into the specifics because I'm picking them up clearly. There was a moment, one specific moment during the worst of it where you almost broke visibly. Almost. You were in public or at work or around people who expected the strong version of you and something triggered it. A song, a date on the calendar, a smell that was connected to the person who left. Someone asking a casual question that hit an exposed nerve, how are you doing? Asked by someone who didn't actually want the answer. And in that moment, everything rose up at once. Every loss stacked on top of every other loss. And the weight of it hit your chest like a wall of water. Your vision blurred, your throat closed. You felt your face start to change, the composure starting to crack like ice, and you caught it. You caught it with a force of will that would have been impressive if it wasn't so devastating. You excused yourself. You found a bathroom, a car, a stairwell, some private corner of the world, and you gave yourself exactly 90 seconds to fall apart, and then you put your face back on and walked back into the room, and nobody knew. Nobody had any idea that the person smiling at them had been sobbing against a locked door 45 seconds earlier. That is the level of survival you've been operating at, and you've been calling it fine. And here's what I need you to hear about that season. It was not punishment. I know it felt like it. I know there were nights where you lay in the dark and the only thought that looped was, what did I do wrong? What sin am I paying for? Why is everything being taken from me when I tried so hard to be good? Those questions are natural, but they're built on a lie. The lie is that suffering is transactional, that you did something to deserve it. You didn't. What happened to you was a stripping, not a punishment, a preparation. God doesn't prepare people for ordinary assignments by giving them ordinary experiences. What was taken from you was taken because your hands needed to be empty for what's about to be placed in them. You cannot receive a new thing while you're gripping the old one, and you were gripping hard with both hands, with your fingernails leaving marks. You held on to that relationship long after it stopped holding you back. You held on to that job, that friendship, that version of your life because letting go felt like dying, and you didn't know yet that some things have to die so something better can be born in the exact same soil. And the universe had to pry your fingers open one by one, and it hurt like nothing has ever hurt. Every finger that released felt like a small death. The relationship gone, the financial security gone, the friend group gone, the health you took for granted gone, the identity you'd built around being someone who had it together gone. Until you were standing in the middle of your own life with nothing in your hands and nothing on your face and nothing left to perform, just you, stripped, raw, terrifyingly free. But your hands are open now, and what's coming is going to require every inch of that empty space. The number 7 is pulsing through this reading. 7 is divine completion, God's number. It means the season of loss is mathematically, spiritually, cosmically over, not winding down, not approaching its end, over. The clock hits 0. The debt is paid. The lesson is learned. And what opens now is not recovery. Recovery implies returning to what you had before. This is restoration, biblical level restoration. The kind where you don't get back what was taken, you get back double. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. Not because you earned it through suffering, but because the suffering revealed a capacity in you that most people never develop. You can hold more now. You can carry more now. And what God sends to people who've been expanded by pain is proportional to the expansion. I'm picking up the initials R or B connected to this person. And for some of you, it could be an L or a T. If those initials mean something, drop them in the comments right now. Now, let me tell you about this person. The one who watched you suffer and is now being used for your restoration. This is not a stranger. This is someone who was present during your worst chapter, maybe peripherally, maybe centrally, but present. They saw it happen. And what most people don't know, what this person has never told you, is that watching you go through what you went through changed something inside them permanently. Not pity, something harder to name. A cracking open, a demolition of their own emotional walls because they watched you lose everything and still show up, still be kind, still answer the phone for someone else who was struggling when you were the one who should have been calling for help. They watched you hold the door open for a stranger on a day when they knew, because they were close enough to know, that you had cried in your car that morning. That specific image, you wrecked on the inside and gracious on the outside, is seared into their memory. And it is the image that God is using to drive them toward you now. They don't fully understand what's happening to them. That's the thing about divine assignment. The person being used doesn't always get the blueprint. They just get the compulsion. They find themselves thinking about you at odd hours, wanting to help you in ways that don't make logical sense for the relationship you currently have. They send a text checking on you and afterward wonder why they sent it. They're not usually the checking on type. They offer something, a ride, a meal, help with a task, and later can't explain the urgency they felt in the offering. It wasn't casual generosity. It was a pull, almost gravitational, like something outside both of you is using them as a delivery system for blessings that have your name on them, and they're just the vehicle, the hands, the instrument being played by a composer they can't see. They want to fix things for you. Not because you're broken, because they were given a front row seat to the breaking, and something in their spirit signed a contract they don't remember signing that says, I will be part of putting this back together. And every act of care they show you is a clause of that contract being fulfilled. I'm getting strong Taurus and Cancer energy around this person, the provider and the nurturer, someone whose love language is acts of service multiplied by 10. For some of you, this person carries heavy Virgo energy, practical, detail-oriented, the kind of person who shows love by fixing the thing you mentioned was broken 3 weeks ago that you thought nobody heard. They heard. They always hear you. Even when they pretend they're not listening, they are cataloging everything you say and filing it under things I can do for this person when the time is right. The time is now right. For some of you, I'm picking up physical impressions, someone with strong, capable hands, the kind that look like they've actually built something, fixed something, carried something heavy, not decorative hands, working hands. For others, it's softer, gentle features, something round and warm about their face, eyes that hold a specific tenderness when they look at you that they don't show anyone else. There's something about their voice when they talk to you versus everyone else. It drops, it slows, it becomes more careful, like they're handling something precious and they know it. Now, here's what this restoration is going to look like. And I need you to listen carefully because you've been so conditioned by loss that your system might try to reject what I'm about to say. The financial restoration comes first. Money that was taken, wasted, stolen, or lost is going to return to you through channels you cannot currently predict. Not all of it through this person directly, some of it through doors this person opens, connections they facilitate, opportunities they point you toward, an unexpected payment, a debt resolved, a source of income that materializes in a space where you'd given up looking. I keep getting the number 8, karmic abundance, the universe balancing the ledger. Every month you scrape by, every bill you paid late with your stomach in knots, every time you went without so someone else could have enough, all of it is being accounted for, and the repayment is not modest. It's aggressive. It's a kind of financial shift that makes you stop mid-sentence and go still because you can't believe the number you're looking at. The relational restoration is next. The people you lost, not all of them are coming back and not all of them should. But the ones whose departure was orchestrated rather than organic, the ones who were removed from your life by God because they would have blocked what's coming, some of them are going to be replaced by people so perfectly aligned with who you are now that you'll understand retroactively why the old ones had to go. The person who left made room for the person who stays. The friendship that ended made space for the friendship that actually holds your weight. And this person, the one at the center of this reading, is the anchor of that new relational architecture. They are not a replacement. They're an upgrade. Selected not by chance, but by divine assignment. Tested not by time, but by proximity to your worst moments. Anyone can love you in the light. This person watched you in the dark and chose you anyway. That's a different category of devotion entirely. The health restoration, your body is coming back online. Something that's been wrong, off, depleted, or unexplained is about to shift. Not overnight, but you'll notice it a morning where you wake up and the heaviness that's been sitting on your chest for months is lighter. An appetite that normalizes sleep, that actually restores instead of just passing time. The chronic tension in your shoulders, that knot that lives between your shoulder blades like a fist that never unclenches, it's going to start releasing. Your body kept score during the suffering, and now it's going to keep score during the restoration. Every panic attack that's owed a peaceful morning. Every night of insomnia that's owed a deep, dreamless sleep. Every meal you skipped that's owed a table full of food eaten slowly with someone who cares whether you're nourished. The score is going to tip back in your favor, and this person, the one at the center of this reading, is going to be part of the physical restoration in ways that might surprise you. Their presence does something to your nervous system, something chemical, something that bypasses thought and goes straight to the body. Your shoulders drop when they're near. your jaw unclenches. Your breathing deepens. Your body has already identified them as safe before your mind finished evaluating. If this is hitting you right now, I need you to drop the word restored in the comments. Like this video and subscribe because what happens in this community is different from anything else on this platform, and I need your energy in here. Now, let me talk about the romantic element because it is absolutely woven through this. This person, whether this manifests as a new romantic connection or the deepening of an existing one, is developing feelings for you that are inseparable from the witnessing. They didn't fall for the curated version of you, they didn't fall for your highlight reel. They fell for the version of you that most people never see and never want to see, the version that was depleted, struggling, stripped of every external marker of success. And something about that version, the raw, unpolished, survival mode version, activated a tenderness in them so deep it borders on devotion. They imagine holding you, not romantically, at first protectively, their arms around you while something in your body finally unclenches. They imagine you leaning your full weight into them, not a polite lean, not a tentative lean, the full surrender of someone who has been holding themselves upright by sheer will for years and finally has a structure to rest against. That image drives everything they feel about you. The desire is there and it's intense, almost shocking in its specificity. They notice things about you that have nothing to do with conventional attraction. The way exhaustion looks on your face, not ugly, not beautiful, just honest. The way your hands curl when you're finally relaxing. The sound your breathing makes when you're not aware anyone is listening. They have studied you in the aftermath of suffering, and instead of seeing damage, they see cathedral architecture. Something that went through fire and came out with the kind of beauty that only extreme heat can produce. They imagine a future with you that is built entirely on the knowledge of what you survived. Not a fantasy future, a real one. Grocery shopping together on a Tuesday and them watching you put things in the cart without doing math first and knowing what that means, knowing that 6 months ago you were counting, knowing that the ease in your hands as you reach for the thing you actually want instead of the cheapest option represents a victory nobody else in that store would recognize. They want to witness the small restorations, the ones that don't make good stories but make good lives. The first vacation you take without guilt. The first time you buy something purely because it's beautiful. The first night you sleep all the way through without waking up at 3 a.m. with your chest tight and your mind racing through numbers and worst case scenarios. They want to be lying next to you for that first unbroken sleep. They want to feel your breathing slow into something deep and steady and know, because they were there for the insomnia, exactly what that peace cost you. That's the intimacy they're reaching for, not the kind built on desire, the kind built on witness. The jealousy is different in this reading than the others. It's not possessive, it's sacred. When someone else tries to comfort you, when someone who wasn't there during the dark season shows up now that the light is returning and acts like they've always cared, this person feels a righteous fury that surprises even them. Because they were there, they earned their proximity to you through presence, not convenience. They didn't show up for the glow, they showed up for the grief. And watching latecomers receive credit for caring makes something in them burn with a protectiveness that has very little to do with ego and everything to do with justice. They know what you went through. They know who was there and who wasn't. And they will guard your restoration with the ferocity of someone who watched the destruction firsthand. I keep getting the number 4. 4 is structure, foundation, a new base being built that will hold the weight of everything coming. It means the restoration isn't just emotional, it's architectural. A new living situation, a new financial structure, a new support system, a new daily rhythm. Everything that collapsed is being rebuilt, and the new version is engineered to withstand what the old version couldn't, because you're not the same person who lost everything. You're the version that survived losing everything, and that version doesn't build with the same materials. You build with wisdom now, with discernment, with boundaries that aren't walls but filters, letting the right things in and keeping the wrong things out with a precision you didn't have before. The suffering taught you what costs more than it's worth. The number 11 keeps flashing: alignment, divine timing, the convergence of preparation and opportunity. Everything you walked through was leading here, not to a moment of revenge or vindication, to a moment of such profound, quiet, undeniable restoration that the people who watched you fall will watch you rise and understand that what they witnessed wasn't a downfall, it was a divine setup. The lowest point wasn't the end of the story, it was the plot twist. And everything after it, everything you're about to step into, is the part of the story that makes the suffering make sense. Not worth it. Nothing makes suffering worth it, but purposeful, woven into something larger than the pain itself. You didn't lose everything for nothing. You lost everything to make room for something that couldn't fit inside the old life. And the person who watched you empty out is now watching you fill back up, and they're going to be standing right there, hands full, heart open, divinely assigned, making sure that this time what you receive has the structure to stay. Okay, I need you to go receive this now. Stop overthinking it. Stop talking yourself out of it. This is coming for you and you deserve it, period. If this hit like this video right now, share it with your person, subscribe, because I am literally always in here dropping something. And comment below because I read every single one and I want to know who this is about. Okay, go. I love you. Bye.